You need to stop writing garbage code with AI, or else you could just be wasting your time vibe coding. Take this advice from a guy that literally had to rebuild his AI startup 5 times before he had a code base that was working properly, and that guy is me. See, sometimes you might think your app's working because you're the one that's testing it, and then you ship it off to your friends to test it out, and then they click a button that you didn't know ever existed, and before you know it, your entire app is completely broken. I've been there, and trust me, you don't want to experience that. But over the summer, I found this AI coding tool that I added to Cursor or any IDE that I use to build apps. And from that moment on, after using this tool called Testsprite, every single one of my projects that I vibe coded with AI have come out perfectly. They work absolutely perfectly. And this was such a game changer that I wish someone showed me a couple of months ago. So in this video, I am going to show you step by step how I use the Testsprite AI coding test agent to test my entire project when I am finished, so that it can tell me whether or not I have errors that need to be solved that I may have never even have noticed. And if you guys are very close to launching your own projects and you want to test out Testsprite, it's the link down below. But without further ado, guys, let's jump right into the computer and let me show you exactly how I use this app to actually test my entire software. So here we have the iOS version of my startup Creator OS, and we have the Cursor environments ready to go. And the first thing that I want to do, guys, is just sign up to Testsprite. So I'm going to head over to this website here, and we're just going to log into Testsprite. Once you guys log in, you want to just head over to the Testsprite MCP server. It is completely free, so it's an absolute no-brainer for you guys to get started. And you just want to click the quick install if you're using Cursor, and you can directly add it to your Cursor environment. Now, the only thing you have to do is create an API key, which we'll do first. I'm going to call this the Testsprite iOS tutorial, and we're going to create that key, and we're just going to copy it to our clipboard. Then we're going to head back to the MCP setup, and we're going to click add to Cursor. This is going to open up our Cursor environment. It's going to literally open up the MCP server on our behalf, and all we have to do is add that API key that we just created, and we'll click install. Once that happens, guys, the Testsprite MCP server will load up into your project, and you're good to go. So we can move on to the next step of actually testing out our project. So I'm going to head over to the Cursor chat on the right hand side, and I'm just going to ask if it has access to my Testsprite MCP. All right, great. So now the agent has said, yes, I have available access to the Testsprite, and it shows us all the capabilities. And so now what we want to just do is run it through the entire project test. And so that'll be our next prompt. So all I said here was, I want you to test the Testsprite MCP, and I want you to test out the entire code base. So the first summary that the agent is going to give us after running through our code base is just break down the entire tech stack. Now, if you're new to vibe coding, this could already be very beneficial, so you can understand exactly all of the tools that you need. For example, the app that we built here uses Expo Go. It uses Expo Go's image picker, uses Apple's authentication for sign-in, it uses Supabase for the email sign-in, and all of these different pieces of tech are all going to be explained in the code summary. And so here we go. The agent has now created this code summary JSON, and you can go and review this just to make sure that you can have a full understanding of how your code base actually works. And then the agent is going to go ahead and run a test. So in the bottom right-hand corner, I just gave it the ability to go and run. Now, the next thing the agent is asking for is the front-end test plan. So it's going to test the front end and click all the buttons and all that fun stuff, and it's also going to test the back end. All right, so now the agent has said the front end test plan has been generated. Let me bootstrap Testsprite for the front end testing. So it's literally going to open up the web development server. As you can see here, I clicked run, and so now what we have to do is give it access to a login provider. So I've already created a test account here using one of my emails, and I gave it the password, and I gave it the port that the website is running on. So if we go back into our app and we go into where the app is actually running, and we scroll up, we could see that this app is running on this localhost website. So I'm just going to copy that localhost URL just to make sure that it's running. I'm going to close out a Cursor, and we're just going to open up a Chrome browser, and I'm just going to pop in that URL just to make sure that the app's loading properly. And okay, there we go. So we can tell that the app's loading properly. So this is the website that the agent is literally going to test the front end on our behalf for. So we're going to go back into the upload file section. We could see that we have the correct local host, we have the password and sign-in information, and all we have to do next is give it this product specification doc. Now, I already created this, but I'm going to show you guys how to recreate this. So our entire code base is already on this project here, so all I would have to do is tell our coding agent in Claude to actually create that file. So I'm just going to quickly add in Claude, and I'm going to say, I want you to create a markdown file of how the app works, and every feature that needs to be tested. This markdown file is going to be given to our Testsprite coding agent to make sure the entire app is working properly. And I'm just going to send that in. All right, sweet. So the agent just finished the file creation. So I'm just going to say, show me the file, baby. I'm going to go into the code base here on the left-hand side. We're going to scroll down and find that testing file. We're going to go and grab this and we'll copy it. So I'm just going to grab the entire file. We're going to copy it. We're going to head over to Claude.ai. I'm going to paste in what I just copied and we're going to say, turn this into a markdown file. Bada boom, bada bing. We now have the entire file that we can download. So I'm going to quickly download that. And now we can feed this file that I just downloaded to our Testsprite coding agent right here. So I'm just going to quickly grab that file, drag it in, and now it has the CreatorOS testing guide markdown file, and we can click continue. Now that I've clicked continue, guys, we can see on the right-hand side that the agent is literally just going to go ahead and start testing everything. So the agent finished up and it said all 21 tests that we ran on the app have been completed, and we can quickly see that these are all the features of our application, right? So from Apple sign-in to email sign-in to uploading content to even deleting your accounts and even the back-end row-level security, right? So people can't hack into each other's accounts. And so that is absolutely ridiculous. And this is why building apps now with AI have been so much easier for me, because when I develop projects for clients or even for myself, I just run it through Testsprite and it lets me know exactly whether or not there's any issues that need to be fixed. And I did this all for free because the Testsprite account is still currently free with the credits that I have. And so honestly, this is an absolute no-brainer. Do not waste your time vibe coding without this tool, especially if you're starting out brand new. The computer use agent that actually ran the test also recorded the screen, which is absolutely absurd. So like, this is literally showing me what it would be like when a test user goes through my application. And so this is the agent going through the sign up phase of the project, and the agent is now clicking get started, signing in with the account that I gave it access to. Like, guys, this is absolutely nuts. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have fun out there.